What's up, you guys? So today I wanted to do a video about something that I've been struggling with personally, and the reason why I didn't do this video until now has a lot to do with what I want to talk about. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to watch this video. And I think that's another reason why I didn't want to do this, because I'm like, oh, like, who's gonna even watch this, or who cares? But I realized that as long as this video just reaches out to a few people that can be impacted by it, I realize it shouldn't be about numbers or who watches this, but just really, like, as long as it touches even one person, I think that should be all that matters. And I just wanted this video to be very raw and not really edited, and just like, this is why I'm kind of all over the place, and I don't really talk like literally, or I just the best. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but okay, so yeah, so I struggle with anxiety and just dealing with stress. And I know that, just really quickly, it doesn't sound like a big deal. It's just like, oh, like, yeah, everyone gets stressed out. But I think that my anxiety is just a little more extreme than normal, I guess. I think it started a few years ago when I was at UCLA, like my last year there, and I didn't recognize it then. To be honest, I didn't even really fully accept that, like, I really struggled with anxiety until a month and a half ago. But it started, so that was about 2 years ago, and I really felt like I just I don't know, I found it very daunting to do things like applying for a position, like a volunteer position or something like that. It'd be on my mind, and I knew I had to do it, and then I just become stressed out about it, and I just, like, it would immobilize me, and I just couldn't do anything. And I know I sound kind of all over the place, but I had a lot of that type of struggle when I was during my third year at UCLA, and shout out to my friend Sarah, who was there for me to talk to during that time, every time I did get overwhelmed. And then after UCLA, I went to community college for a year in Southern California at a community college called Cypress College. And actually during that time, I didn't struggle with it all too much. But after moving up to NorCal, where I just recently got married, and I'm going to a community college here called Mission College. It's near San Jose, if you guys know where that is. And I don't know, it just started hitting. And just recently too, I think I struggle a lot with anxiety and stress during vacation time, like winter vacation or summer vacation, when you're really not doing anything, as in not doing anything, but when you don't have a due date. So like with school, like, you should be there on time, you know. I know, I get that in college you could just skip your classes and stuff, but sometimes attendance counts, things like that. You got to take your quizzes and your labs, etc. So there are due dates to assignments and tests, but during break, there's not really a due date on things, right? So I feel like not having a structure to my life stresses me out and gives me high anxiety, because I don't have anything to go by. And sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to explain. Yeah, so let me just talk about this past winter break, which I'm still in. I'll be going back to Mission College on Monday, but I've been in break for a month and a half, almost a month and a half, because I am on semester system. And I know it sounds like great, and it's like, ooh, like, we should all be having fun, and I should be really happy. But contrary to that, I'm actually became very unhappy during this time. I would say that I actually do want to go back to school, and I think going back to school will make me happier, not because I'm nerdy or anything, but I just feel like I need that structure, because once winter vacation started, in the beginning it's okay because you're all like happy that school's over and you just want to play and do whatever. But as time passed by, I just like I feel like it's hard, especially in America, you know. I feel like as a student, we learn to think that vacation shouldn't just be vacation, but it should be a time of internships, or it should be a time of looking up for new opportunities to advance ourselves, make ourselves look better in our future resumes when we apply to grad school, or if we do apply for a job or whatever, or take a part-time job, part-time tutor, you know, whatever. And I knew that in my heart, and I had all these ideas in my head, but I think that I just got overwhelmed by it, and I saw one thing. It starts from, I think it creeps up on you, you know. I think actually applying to volunteer to a place is a big thing to do, right? Or for me it is. And so those things make it seem like, oh, okay, there's good reason to be anxious about it or stressed out about it. But I don't know when it started, but it started seeping into little things, such as, like, the dishes. Seeing the dishes made me stressed out. I don't know why. I just, like, got overwhelmed by the idea of washing dishes. And for, like, 2 days at a time, I would not be able to wash it because I would be stressed out about it. And I don't know how to explain this feeling. But maybe as I talk more and more, it'll help you guys understand what I go through and what maybe other people who struggle with anxiety go through, or maybe it's worse or in a different way. But even like, so we have a Brita filter, so we have a pitcher and you just has a filter and you put tap water and it filters out the other extraneous things, right? And even like refilling that pitcher would stress me out to the point where like, I don't know how to explain it, but I would just feel like crap about myself because I couldn't even just fill up a water bottle. I don't know. And then I would just feel more crap about myself, and then I would find myself literally, I would wake up at 12 in the afternoon, obviously not having done anything, and then I would feel bad about myself, and I would think about the dishes not done, or the water pitcher that I never filled, and then that would make me feel bad about myself, and then I would just go to sleep even more, and then I would wake up at 3 or 4 p.m. and I know my husband's coming around 6 from work, and he goes to work every day, right, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 8 to 6 type of job, and he is working so hard to provide for us, and I'm just like lazing away and not doing anything, and the house would be a mess, and I could at least clean it up since, you know, since he's at work, busy working, and I'm just at home doing nothing. But I don't know how to explain it. And even like, I don't know, even like cooking, like I love cooking actually. And I love cooking for my husband and other people, but I would just become stressed out about going to buy groceries. I don't know, and I just couldn't do it. And my husband is so understanding, so sometimes during that high period of anxiety where like I just can't do anything, like where I just feel like I can't cook a meal, I can't whatever, like he's like, it's okay, we can go do takeout or whatever. I'm very fortunate that my husband is very understanding. But yeah, like what I'm trying to say is that it was with all these little things that I got overwhelmed about. And I'm a perfectionist, and I like to do everything. I like to give my 100% in things that I do, and I like to do it like to the T, or more, right? I like that 110%. And I think when I can't achieve that, that is not okay with me. And it irks me, and it makes me feel crap about myself, and I hate myself, and I just, like just demolish to dust. This is actually kind of therapeutic for me since I'm talking about my emotions. And I do this a lot with my husband, by the way, and it really helps. I'm just trying to think about what I'm trying to say right now. I don't think it was until 2-3 weeks ago where I talked to, I don't know if you would want me to mention his name, but a friend from my church, and we were just talking, and he's a very intelligent man, intelligent student, and I would say very accomplished. But as I opened up to him about my struggle, he was able to also relate with me because he shared with the similar things that I struggled with, and I found that astonishing for someone as accomplished and as, you know, successful as him. Like, I wouldn't imagine that he would struggle with anxiety and stress the way that I did. And I think what I'm trying to tell you guys, if you guys know anyone who struggles with anxiety and stress and like they feel like they can't do anything, or if you yourself are going through it, I think a good way to, I think there are many things that I want to share with you guys that might alleviate your anxiety and stress, or your friends, is that it's important to know, like, you're not abnormal. It's not like a disease or anything. I do know that some people might have to take medication for that, and some people don't, or some people go see a therapist, which is, I think, great, and if you need to do it, it's not a bad thing. And I think even a few years ago it was more like taboo to see a therapist, but after talking to many people, and I know many of my friends who I love and respect, and they see a therapist, and I think it's a good thing, and I think you should go see one if you want to. For me, I personally haven't. I don't take medications or anything. I feel like for me right now, talking to people about it is enough for me. But if things were to get worse, I would definitely consider maybe like seeing a therapist if I had to. And this is a lot for me to say because for those who know me, I'm someone who likes to present myself as a very put together person. I am also very prideful. I just like to, no one wants to show the fact that they are weak. But I realize that there is strength in me sharing my weaknesses and what I lack, because I think that also encourages other people to feel normal and to feel like no one is perfect. And we all fall, we all fail, and we all struggle. And I think that it's by sharing that we liberate others to be able to share their own vulnerabilities with each other. And that's one thing I wanted to share about. Just know that it's not like you're a disease or you're weird or you're really weak. It's just something that some people just have, you know? And another thing I wanted to talk about that's been helping me deal with my anxiety and stress is one of my good friends, we call them brothers in Christ, just like a guy friend at church, really. But he was sharing, and it kind of made me feel also better about myself because he knows me a little bit. And he was trying to put my anxiety in a positive light to show maybe where the core of my anxiety is derived from. And he was saying maybe in a positive way, it actually comes from an extreme duty of responsibility that I have, a responsibility that I have to do all things perfect, to do all things really well, but that can also, of course, go overboard. And that actually made me feel better about myself too, because it's not a bad thing to feel like you have a strong duty of responsibility, you know. And another thing I wanted to share, and I just took some time, especially during this struggle, usually at 4 p.m. when I do actually get out of bed and I'm able to do something, and I would just sit at my table and just think about myself and think why am I struggling with this so much? And I think I got some insight after talking to my husband about this, but I realized every time I feel better, after talking to my husband or someone is when they logically talk with me through my struggle. And at the end of the day, I always realize this is what I personally feel. It might be different for some people, but I feel like a lot of people that struggle with anxiety and stress, we 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 somehow like fool ourselves into thinking something false, but we think it's true in our minds. And when we talk about it with someone else, we realize that what we thought was logical in our heads is not really logical at all. And I always realize, like, my husband's saying certain things to me and I realize, oh, that is logical. For example, like for me as a student, most people obviously don't study in between like breaks for the next class, let's say. Like, so next semester I'm taking anatomy and biology, and most people wouldn't really preview, right? Most people just go to class and you just learn the material. And most people also don't review. So last semester I also took another bio course with a Spanish course. But a lot of people don't review or preview. But for me as a student, I feel like as a perfectionist, I'm like, no, I gotta review all the material I did last semester, everything, and then I gotta preview and read through all the books for next semester, which is actually pretty ridiculous to some people, but in my head, I was just like, no, I gotta do this. I'm gonna do this. And here I am today, and school's starting on Monday, and I did none of that, right? And every day during the break, I would be stressed out about that fact that I didn't review or preview. And then my husband would talk to me and go like, so you're stressed, not about, he's like, you're stressed about something that you don't even have to do, that no one's gonna even grade you on, no one's gonna even be upset at you on, it's not even a mandatory thing, it's not summer school homework, he's like, you're just an overachiever. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And what I'm just trying to say is I know there's a lot of, I mean, this is just one example, and this is something I chronically struggle with, like the thought of not studying enough or whatever. My husband is actually someone who tells me not to study too much. He's like, you just gotta sit down and take a break sometimes, because I'm always like, no, like there's never studying enough. How do you know if you studied enough, you know? And actually my husband's the one that regulates that for me. He's like, nope, closes my laptop. He's like, you're gonna watch, I don't know, The Bachelor or whatever, right? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm happy about this sharing about this openly with you guys and with whoever's watching this. And yeah, I think my encouragement to you guys is that it's not an abnormal thing. And alright, so my memory card just ran out, so I just want to redo this. Alright. So, where was I? I think I was at the conclusion of my video. So, what I'm just trying to say is share with someone because they're going to help you think out your thoughts logically. And know that you're normal. You're not, this is not weakness, but, it is a strength. And I feel like my husband tells me, like, even though your anxiety and stress is not the best for you, he was saying, like, but he thinks that it's the reason why there's a lot of double-edged swords in life, you know, there's a lot of paradoxes, you know, and like, I'm an extremely hard worker and I'm diligent, but at the same time, I can be extremely, like, because I'm so stressed out about that wanting to gain perfection, I'll, you know, end up being very anxious and I can't do anything, you know? And he was, you know, just like my other friend that encouraged me, my husband was saying, you know, like, it comes from a good place, you know? It comes from a good place, but I think at the end of the day, we who struggle with this don't know how to really regulate that. Like, we need balance in our lives, and that is something I struggle with a lot. I don't have balance in my life, so yes. But yeah, that's what I want to share with you guys today, and just know that you're not alone in this battle, and I know I'm like a broken record. But join the bandwagon and let's talk if you need to. And that's all I gotta say, so I'll see you in my next one. Bye!